And we are recording. Wonderful. I'm just going to share my screen here, and I wanted to welcome you to Wellness Wednesday, our spring cuisine version of the last one for the month of April. Can you see my screen okay there? Actually, Donna, you're the only one I can see. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Energy, Donna? Thanks. All right. So today we are going to be talking about spring cuisine. And with spring cuisine comes all sorts of wonderful foods. We have, of course, we have our, our flowers, our edible flowers, our beautiful tulips, and we've got fiddleheads. We've got all kinds of different things that we look forward to in the spring. So today I just wanted to, if I don't already know you, I'm just going to take a minute here and I'm just going to just tell you about me. You saw my little bio in the newsletter, and that would be just kind of telling you about me and my connection with community care. And I'm also a yoga teacher. I didn't say that, I don't think, but I'm not a chef and I'm not a nutritionist. So everything that I say today is only for fun, and it's just for interest's sake. So I live here in Buckhorn. I have two children, and they're grown and gone. And my daughter works for Durham Region Police 911, and our son is a real estate agent. He works throughout the Toronto region and GTA. And my husband Ian is here, and he is maybe helping me later. And he is also working still, so he works for American Express, pretty much 8 to 4 every single day. So coming right into our presentation here, I just wanted to talk to you about Spring Harvest of Plenty and the reasons that we really should and we should consider fresh local produce. Purchasing locally gives us the nutrients and freshness and flavor right from the farm, really local. We're supporting our local economy and our farmers. We are feeding our body the seasonal foods, the ideal foods that our body needs. And our body is cyclical. So we are in the winter looking for, warmer foods and things that make us feel comfort food. Whereas in the spring, these new foods come up and our body craves things like that. Meeting our new farmers, we get to discover new foods and new recipes. I also think that it is a way of practicing mindful eating, which helps with digestion. So mindful eating, what I really mean is that we know where it came from. We may know the farmer. We may know, certain things about how it was farmed, whether it was organic or not. And it just makes us more mindful of our eating, which also creates gratitude for what it is that we are eating on a daily basis. It creates or saves on waste. So we may not have the packaging, we may not have the shipping or the handling that is required when things come from other parts of the country or world. And we get to know our farmers, our farms, and friends, making new friends. There is a company that is out by Jeff and Bernadette Toy. It's their neighbor actually, that does boxes that you could purchase. And the website I noted is the Ryle Acres Farms. And you can have more information about that. I can send you these links. What it is a box that is available to you for a certain price, and it could be a $25 box or a $40 box. And they have the in-season vegetables and fruits available for you, and you can make choices. So have a look at their website, and possibly that's a local one that you could support if you're interested. They go to the markets as well. The other one that I wanted to note was farmersmarketontario.com, and you can look up your own farmer, and you can, or a farmer in your area, you can get their phone numbers, maybe a website, and get more information about what is local to you through there. So that being said, I'm going to move directly now into some foods that are common and not so common to us at this time of year. So the mushrooms that I put in that picture there, those are morels, and they're wild mushrooms, just like puffball mushrooms. So They're not, I didn't find them in the store the other day, but they're just a variety right now that are coming available along with our rhubarb, strawberries, cherries, carrots, spring onions, beets, asparagus, and radishes. There's more. There are more that aren't even listed there. So some of the other ones I didn't list were artichoke, arugula, cherries, and new potatoes. Some of the not so common spring foods that we can sometimes find in our fields or forests would be our fiddleheads, dandelion greens, our nettles, which is like ramp, which is like an onion, chickweed, clover, yarrow, milkweed, and we've got edible flowers. So with the fiddleheads, I did go out and I went to 3 stores and I went foraging in 2 forests. I could not find them. So I wanted to bring them to present to you today, but unfortunately I couldn't find them. They're coming though, they are. I might be just a little bit early on that. The other thing I wanted to mention was wild mushrooms, and that I like are one called the puffball mushroom. And last year I just, oh, it was so good to make soup out of, and they're huge. It was like 2.5 pounds. So I wanted to demonstrate a few things with our fresh food today. And one that I wanted to share with you was a beet salad and a creamy radish cucumber salad and a quinoa asparagus salad. My husband is really excited to have some of that beet salad, so we're going to make that for him and he's going to snack on that later. But also we get beautiful fruits while we're, at this time of year. And apricots, I also went looking for apricots, fresh apricots, did not get a hold of any. I did make the strawberry banana muffins. They're awesome. And I will share that recipe for you. And unfortunately, I did forget one ingredient and it still turned out amazing. Rhubarb oat bars. My rhubarb is not quite ready in my garden yet, so I did not make those. But I did make some chia pudding with some sliced mango, and another one with cherries is Greek yogurt. Oh, that is so delicious. So one thing that I wanted to ask you, if you know the difference here, which one, and you can just wait for me to answer, but I thought it was fascinating that these two look so similar. One is rhubarb and one is beets. And they're just so similar that I suppose if you weren't familiar, you could mistake them. And so just so you know, the top one is rhubarb. It's a tender one. It's a young rhubarb, obviously. And the bottom one is beets. So beets, we can eat the greens. We can make lots of things out of it. We can eat them raw, roasted, boiled, canned or pickled. We can make borscht, and there's lots of good things like vitamins and potassium, and they help lower blood pressure. So they are an excellent, excellent food. So that is just a little bit of a presentation I wanted to share with you. I'm just going to put myself on spotlight here and I'm going to do a couple of recipes. And welcome to anyone who I didn't say hello to already. Let me just put myself spotlight here and then I can be, there we go, there we go. So for today, I wanted to share with you a few recipes, the quinoa asparagus salad, as well as a creamy cucumber and the beet salad. So I'm just going to quickly go over these. I have chopped off a lot of the ingredients and I will just put them together, and I will definitely be sharing these recipes with you at the end. So to start, I'm going to do a quinoa asparagus salad. And quinoa is so wonderful. I forgot how good quinoa really is. I love quinoa, and it's something that is a grain. So I followed a recipe for it on the internet that I hadn't found before. And what I did was I toasted it in a little bit of olive oil first in a dry pan, and then put the olive oil in, put the quinoa in, gave it a good shake, and it was a little bit toasted. And then I added that to water and it boiled it for like 20 minutes, simmered it for maybe 20 minutes, and then it sits, and then you fluff it up. It's very, very nutritious. So that there is my measurement of, I think that is about 2 cups. I'm going to put that in there. So I have a recipe here that I am following, but this recipe was meant for, gosh, I think it was 6 people. So I cut everything in half. So I've got my quinoa. I'm just going to add that to my bowl here. And then we are going to move directly into the asparagus. So asparagus and peas are in this recipe, but it also said that you could add things like radish, or you could add cucumber or other kind of spring greens. So I've got here some radish, some peas, and some asparagus that have been blanched. And when I blanch them, I put them into the hot boiling water, and then I put them into nice cold water so that they save, it saves the green, beautiful green appearance. So there we have asparagus, beans, and I added radish to it. And now I've also got some cut up scallions or green onions. And I went with 2. I reduced it from 3 because we do love our green onions. Dill is in season, so I took that in my bowl and I gave it a nice chop with, I took the hard stems off of it. I gave it a nice chop with my scissors, and that's going in. And we also have fresh parsley. So the good thing about our spring salads is that they're so nutritious and they're so crunchy and they're so fresh. So this is something that I'm excited about, and feeling so good about eating some fresh spring vegetables. So then I put my parsley in, and then now the other thing I do have here is nuts. It did call for slivered almonds, which I didn't have, and it called for them to be toasted. I didn't toast them, but you could put them in, again, a dry pan and just kind of shake them about and get them nice and fragrant. But I didn't toast mine, and mine are actually a combination of walnuts and pumpkin seeds and a little bit of pecans. I'm going to put that in there. Then I have 1/3 of a cup of oil. So this one I did already measure out. So I'm just going to add, it's just putting everything right in there. Now with my lemon juice, it calls for about 1/3 of a cup of lemon, so that's the whole recipe, is 1/3 of a cup of lemon. So I cut it in half. So it's a half of 1/3 of a cup, 1 to 2 lemons, it says. So I also have lemon peel in this recipe. So I'm just going to use half my lemon with my beautiful juicer here. And the good thing about this is if I do find seeds, they're easy to get out. Oh, there goes one. And I find this does the best for juicing, like better than squeezing it. And I know this is probably an antique. It came with the cottage when we bought this place, and I take such good care of it because I just love it. I have another recipe I'm going to do with fresh orange juice, and I'm just going to use fresh oranges. So I'm going to use my finger because I'm not serving this to anybody else, but I would typically use a spoon. And I'm just going to get that seed out of there because those guys are slippery. And I'm going to put that juice in there. Next thing on the list is salt and pepper to taste. I prefer freshly ground salt and pepper myself, sea salt and fresh ground peppers. And of course, it's to taste. So if you're doing this and you taste it and you realize that it's not salty enough, or it doesn't have enough, radishes or something in it, you can always add to it. And I'm going to let that sit probably for, I think I'm just going to let it sit for a few minutes before eating it, but maybe an hour or half an hour to get all those flavors in. Just going to move my camera so you can see how beautiful this is. And as far as I'm concerned, that looks like a super fresh, beautiful salad. And all I did was just toss everything together. And that quinoa is so full of beautiful nutrition. So there we have the recipe for a quinoa asparagus salad. Like I said, my husband is excited to have these salads for his lunch. The next one that I wanted to share with you is it's a creamy cucumber radish salad. So I've got a small bowl here because my husband wasn't too excited about this one. And I just did like half a batch of this as well. So this called for thinly sliced radishes and thinly sliced cucumbers. And the full recipe called for 20 radishes, or 2 bunches trimmed and sliced. That's an awful lot. So I cut it right back, and I only did 4 in this little bowl. But I do like green onion, or you can use chives instead of green onion. So with this one here, I've got my green onion all ready to go. I'm going to put that in there. And then I've got a choice of um, either sour cream or Greek yogurt. So I chose Greek yogurt. So I'm going to put that in there. And that, with salt, is it. That is it. So this one here is a super easy, nice, fresh one. And you don't have to add salt if you don't want to, but our body does need salt. So if we cut salt completely out of our diet, things can happen. Our body needs it. It is an electrolyte. So if we're having salt, I just recommend like a nice Mediterranean sea salt, or something that is, maybe not table salt as much. So you could add pepper to this. You could add, oh my goodness, you could add other, ingredients in here or spices. But this alone, I think I might add pepper to it. This alone to me is a beautiful looking fresh salad, and it would be nice on a beautiful summer day or spring day, just a nice cool. And I think I'm going to put that in the fridge to get cool for maybe eating as a snack later, or with my dinner. We're having fish tonight, so that would be nice with fish. So that one was pretty super. Well, it was really easy. The next one I wanted to do was the one that my husband is looking forward to, and I put the recipe down. Bear with me one second. Here it is. So the next one is a beet salad, and the choice on this one is either feta or Greek or goat cheese. And I bought feta cheese to go with this one. So here we have chopped up, cooked. It was recommended that you bake these, but I did boil them, and then I just peeled them and chopped them up into nice little chunks. So that there is our, grab a spoon here, our chopped up beets. Now let's see, we have here olive oil, lemon juice, salt, pepper, red onion, and goat cheese. That's it. So I'm going to put the red onion in. Now I think this is a lot of red onion. My husband loves red onion, so I'm not gonna chintz on that, because I know he really loves his red onion. And then we've got our olive oil is already measured out. And I've already got some lemon juice, so I don't have to juice another lemon, just for speed here. And I'm going to put some more salt and pepper here. So nice pepper. I'm going to put this pepper over by my cucumber radish, so I remember to do that. And some salt. And then it calls for a quarter cup of, or less than a quarter cup of cheese or feta. It could be crumbled feta or crumbled goat cheese. And so I'm just going to go with what I think. It doesn't have to be exact, right? It depends on if you love it or how you feel about that. There we go. And then I'm just going to toss that around. I'm going to let that marinate probably for, maybe even put it in the fridge to get cool. You could eat this warm. It definitely, if your beets are still warm, it would be delicious. So there we have another beautiful salad. So there is our beet and red onion and feta. I think I'm going to add more feta to that. And then when I taste it, I might add more salt or pepper. I love pepper on beets. Beets and pepper are something that go together so nicely, in my opinion. So those are the salads I wanted to share with you. I do want to share a couple more things that I already made. And one of them is a nice spring roll. So the spring roll is not cooked. It's a cold spring roll, and it's made with rice papers. You could do this with lettuce. So if you have like a nice lettuce boat, you could have like, whatever you want in it, and then roll it up. But these are rice papers. So I love these. And they're kind of like really kind of hard, but that's just rice. What you do with these is you have a bowl, and you drop this into warm water. So it's just warm, not too hot, because you do have to handle it. So I'm just going to drop that in there, and it has to sit to soften. So it'll soften. I'm just going to put that aside now because I want to show you what it's going to look like when it softens. I got it on a paper, on a tea towel here. So it softens really kind of weird. It is kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like plastic, but it's rice, believe it or not. And then you take this. We like to work with these on our on the towel here because if you put it on a plate or on a cutting board, they really do stick. So it gets kind of sticky. Pretty easy to hold these and move them around and 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 just manage those. I'm going to put some nice fresh, crunchy bean sprouts in there. You don't want to put too much in. That's the thing is you don't want to put too much in because you do need to roll this. I'm going to put just a couple of slices of red pepper. And I love my avocado. Love, love, love avocado. So that's going to go in there, just laying it in there nice and easy. And now we also do buy the pre-cut coleslaw. Now you could just cut up your own cabbage and carrots and things like that, but this is so easy. And this stuff here I add to soups and all sorts of different recipes. Just my husband loves it for his salads. So there's that. And then I'm just, because it's also in season, I am going to add just a touch of arugula. So then we take the two ends, and again, it's very, very flexible, but just be careful that you don't want to stretch it too much. It could rip. Two ends, fold those in, fold one across, and then you start tucking it. Tuck it as you roll it. Oh, I just see I made a hole. Tuck it as you roll it, and it's starting to fall apart, sorry, but it turns out like this. So this is just perfect as it is. It could be eaten just like that, or you could take it and you could cut it in half. Let's hope that this stays together here because I did make a couple as well beforehand. And then when you bite into it, you get all those beautiful flavors. So I'm going to put this on this plate here that I made for my husband's lunch, and I'll share that with you. Oh, the other thing I love, and I did not add it, is sprouts. So these you can buy. They're $2. They're so nutritious. They've got so much nutrition in them. These are broccoli sprouts. You can get them all sorts of different kinds of sprouts, but I just put them on top of everything. You just take them out, and like I said, they're just a couple of bucks. You can even grow your own. I do also have some that I grow myself. So here's a plate that I have started for my husband, and that will be the spring rolls. He loves Hoisin sauce, so he put that there. Hard-boiled egg. Chicken tenders. I made these out of, I made them out of oat flour, an egg, and some spices. So this compared to the Even Jane's frozen ones, they're very, very good, very easy to make. I can share that recipe with you also. Super, super easy. And then, so I'm just going to scoop a little bit of this, I'm going to scoop a little bit of this salad onto this arugula to show you how pretty this is when it's served. This is the beet salad. I'm going to put that on top of arugula. My husband's not a big arugula person, so I might have to eat this portion myself. And let me just put that on there and just show you how pretty this is. So there we have the beautiful, oh, I lost a piece, arugula beet salad with, this is feta cheese, could be done with goat cheese, and it's got red onions in there. And I'm just so excited to eat that. So crispy and fresh. So those are a couple of things that I wanted to share with you, but I do also want to share with you this strawberry muffin. So this, I'm not going to make them from, the beginning for you, but I want to show them to you. So these are my strawberry muffins, also made with oat flour. So I try not to use processed flour when I can, and I try not to use processed sugar when I can. These have, let's see if they have maple syrup in them. Yep, they have maple syrup in them. So what I did with these is I made my own oat flour out of bulk oats, and then it's baking powder, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, almond milk, 2 eggs. Now, I forgot the almond milk. That's what I forgot, but it worked out well. Melted coconut oil or olive oil, 2 mashed ripe bananas, vanilla extract, maple syrup, and diced up strawberries. And I'll tell you, this is the first time I made these. They were so, so good. Even though I forgot the milk, turned out just fine. Turned out beautiful. So for my husband's dessert today, he has choices. He's got some not so fresh. They are dried apricots. He's got a strawberry muffin with some fresh strawberries. And I also did a nice chia pudding with maple syrup and some mango on top, which is also, in season right now, according to Mr. Googly. And I put some strawberries in there. So this to me is a delicious, nutritious snack or dessert. And you can even put a dollop of Greek yogurt on there, which gives it a really, really yummy flavor. So those are the options. My husband has lots of options for his lunch or dinner. But I also wanted to share with you something here. I talked a little bit about the mushrooms, the wild mushrooms, the wild foods that we're not so familiar with. And I got into eating plants, I guess you could say, and mushrooms, wild, a lot last year. And for Christmas, my family gave me a couple of books that I refer to and love. I also go to the internet for a lot of things. But here's a couple of books: The Edible and Medicinal Plants of Canada and Mushrooms of Ontario. So I went out foraging, like I said, to a couple of forests to try and find some fiddleheads unsuccessfully. So I wasn't too happy about that. I wanted to share a fiddlehead recipe with you. I personally have not, other than tasted them, I haven't done a meal out of them. So I wanted to share that with you, but that didn't work out, unfortunately. So I am going to keep looking. I don't think I have passed the date that they are required, because they're fast. I think they only last a couple of weeks when it all is said and done. I think it's only a couple of weeks, if that. I don't even know if it's that much. And they are gone. They're gone. They turn into ferns, right? Sorry, I dropped something there. So just talking a little bit about nutrition, we talked about beets and radishes as well. So we've got radishes. They can be eaten raw, roasted. They can actually be sauteed or pickled. I didn't know that. I guess they would be delicious. They come in they come in three different colors, I should say: white, red, or variegated, different sizes. They are related to the horseradish plant. The leaves are edible as well. Radish is a taste of spicy or peppery. They're very low calorie, lots of iron, vitamin C, and antioxidants, and they help, as well as beets, help lower blood sugar. Our asparagus can be also eaten raw or roasted, boiled, canned, or pickled. So this is one thing I wanted to share with you. I think this is an Ontario one. These are pickled asparagus that go really nicely in Bloody Caesars. Yep, lots of things you can put in Bloody Caesars. So they're really delicious as a side as well on a salad or something. Did you know that asparagus has been around for 2,500 years and originally came from Greece? So the name actually means stalk or shoot, and they come in different colors as well: the purple, the white, and the green. Quinoa, I wanted to share with you. It's part of the amaranth family. It's an ancient grain. It is classified as a superfood, very high nutrition value, and there are 3,000 varieties. I did not realize that quinoa came in so many. Three colors: red, black, and white. The red and black actually have a higher content of vitamin E, so that it is low fat, high in omega-3s and fiber, and it is a complete protein. So if you have vegetarians that are looking for what they call a complete protein, it has 9 essential amino acids that our body doesn't make, and we need to get that from food. And usually we get that, say, from meat. Vegetarians would be eating a lot of quinoa probably to get some protein. Strawberries. So strawberries are something that we all love, and we've got a couple of beautiful strawberry farms around here, or berry farms. The other day when I did a fitness class, I just chopped a few up, and I dropped them right into my water that I was drinking. It's very, very good that way. They're low in sugar. Did you know that their seeds are actually on the outside? So they are considered a berry, but they're a different type of berry because berries are usually with a seed on the inside. And those little grainy things are the seeds of the strawberry on the outside. And Belgium has a museum dedicated just to strawberries where you can buy from strawberry jam all the way to strawberry beer. And I don't know if Audrey's on or not, but they carry strawberry beer. And another stat I found out about strawberries was that California produces 80% of the strawberries for the United States. And then there's one more thing that that I found out was that if you wash the strawberries and then put them in the fridge, they may rot a little bit faster. So if you can hold off washing them to before eating, make sure you wash them. They will be a little bit fresher if you hold off washing them after you put them in the fridge instead of before. So I have a joke that I shared on our 11 o'clock class the other day, and I just wanted to share it with you. And the question is, knock, knock. Who's there? Beets. Beets who? Beats me. So I'm going to unmute you, and I just want to hear any comments or questions that you have about these recipes that I shared with our spring vegetables. And oh, what have we got here? We have a Ganaraska forest. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Thanks. I'm going to go to the Ganaraska forest. I know exactly where that is. That's Murray telling me that the morels are in the Ganaraska forest. And did I look at the contents of table salt? Really? It contains sugar, eh? Yeah, I don't use table salt. I didn't know that, Murray. Interesting information.
They can't make it any cheaper.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I don't use it. Oh, that's funny. A long way to go. What is a long way to go, Donna?
I think it's a long way to go.
What's a long way for what? For the Ganaraska forest?
For mushrooms, yeah.
It's probably a 40-minute drive down, out to the 115 and down. Yeah. Oh no, Port Hope, you said. Yeah, you'd have to hop on the 401, wouldn't you? You could just go down 28. Hey, it's worth it. It might be worth it.
Yeah.
Yes. So does everybody, think they want to try some nice spring recipes now that you've seen some beautiful food that we can create?
I'm curious about the rice wrap. How long do you actually have to soak it in the water?
Oh, literally minutes. Like I've left it in the water. So I put it in the water to show you that. And it's still in here. And what was that, like 10 minutes ago? It's still very workable. It's not pulling apart. Like I could give it a little pull and rip it. But if you were in a rush, warm water, not too hot, it would probably be maybe 2 minutes. You just want it to be in a nice sort of rubbery state like this, and then place it, open it up onto your tea towel, and yeah, so not too hot of water, probably 2 or 3 minutes, but definitely you could leave it in even longer, and it doesn't seem to do any harm. So that's how long I had it in there. They're so fresh, so fresh, and so is lettuce. Lettuce is wonderful. I'm not a taco like what do you call it? Those things, those tortilla wraps. I'm not really into those. So I really like these because they're fresh. And you can put anything you want in them. Anything. You could slice up all sorts of things. Yeah.
The muffins look
Wild
good.
leeks. Oh, wild leeks. That's right. Yeah. So that would be the what are they called? Rain. Oh, I had it on my presentation, but yes, wild leeks are coming up soon. Sheila mentioned that yesterday. Yeah. So I was thinking about getting out and trying to find those. I have an app on my cell phone actually that I think is going to be along the lines of something like this, so I don't have to carry my book with me. But the app is, you can take a picture and it will it'll feed back to whatever it is database, and it'll tell you what that is that you're looking at. If it's a type of mushroom, it'll tell you the type of mushroom, and then you can go in a little bit further and find out if it's edible or how to cook it.
Nice.
yeah, it's kind of a neat thing that it takes the picture and figures it out for you. The other thing that I saw the other day was the very beginning of a puffball. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. It is on someone's property. Yeah, so they're starting to grow. We have a chef here in town that everybody knows, Chef Doris. And last year she gave me one that was 2.5 pounds. And I
Wow.
swear it looked like a cranium. It was so big. It looked like a brain. It was so big. And it was so good. It's like silky, silky, beautiful taste. I made a mushroom soup out of it, and I did a mushroom steak, grilled it up. Oh, it was so delicious. So
You need a horse to get the puffballs.
you need a what?
The logging horses help provide puffballs. They're
Oh,
droppings.
oh, is that right, eh? Oh, well, where I saw one growing, it was just in the middle of somebody's grass. So I don't know, maybe they've got horses.
You might have had a pony.
Yeah, maybe, eh? Yeah. But I'm always wanting to try new things. So these are a number of recipes that, maybe it'll inspire you to try new foods or maybe go out foraging.
One tip that I learned last year with strawberries was to, when washing them, soak them, have some vinegar in the water, because there may be worms in the strawberries. And you can actually see them in the water sometimes. I know.
Oh,
Really?
Much as I love strawberries, I can't get that out of my mind now.
yeah, me either.
Proteins.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, you never knew strawberries had protein till you get a worm. I mean, the joke I told one day in one of our classes was, what's worse than finding a worm in your apple? Finding half a worm.
Half a worm.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Can you give me the website for that farmer's market again? I didn't catch it. It was in your
Yes,
presentation.
actually. Yeah, definitely. I can bring the presentation back up, or if you'd like,
Yeah.
we can email a follow-up to that. Now, one of them was the Ryles, which is
Yeah.
a neighbor of Jeff.
I know
and
they're just down the road from me. Yeah.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Ontario Farmers. Ontario
It
Farmers.
was freemarketontario.ca. Do you think it was?
No, it was .com.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I thought
Okay.
it would be .ca too when I was typing it into the presentation. I had to double check that. It is .com, and yeah, it's for Ontario Farmers.
So you can find, for example, who is the local farmer who produces organically grown meat, that sort of thing.
I can't say exactly how the search engine works. So the search engine that I went on and I kind of played with it, and I just typed in the word buckhorn, and I came across a couple of places came up. So the search engine may or may not give you exactly what it is that they sell, but it would at least give you local, and it would give you their website if they have one, so you can go on and have a look.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was information I should share with you that might be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions or comments?
Just a comment. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I know. I know, Karen. I know.
Delicious.
Yeah, I had one of these muffins before starting our talk here, and I can't get over how good they are. I hadn't made them before. So these are the banana and strawberry ones. Oh, these are my yeah, they are so light and fluffy. I guess that would be because there's 2 whole eggs in it, and then it's got the baking soda, baking powder, but they're so flavorful. And that's what I find with strawberries, is that their flavor goes, quite far. And what these ones also, it did chop up the strawberries. I put them in as it asked for. And then before I baked them, I put a couple of extra drops on the top of each one so that we could get a little bit of color. But it didn't do anything. They didn't get burnt or anything like that, but they turned out, in my opinion, they turned out really, really good. They're gluten-free. They are processed sugar-free, but they do have the maple syrup. They have maple syrup, which is, probably I didn't use the one from our tree, but I mean it's all natural, right? So that's what I like to think about. Oh, and I don't know if Audrey is on. Is Audrey on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, Audrey is on. I wanted to show you what I bought. So I got fresh dill here. I've got my fresh pineapple. I've got my tulips. Oh, I was so happy to buy myself flowers,
Yeah.
and I bought one of these. I'm excited to try it. I've never had one before.
Artichoke. Never
Yeah,
either.
Artichoke.
yeah,
Lovely.
So my husband and I are going to try that. We were looking up a recipe and it said to, do whatever, take the spiky part off and then peel it back. I guess we'll have to go back to the recipe and read it, but it's a bit of a project, I guess, to eat, eh?
I've never
Yeah.
eaten it.
Never eaten it myself, so I'm kind of excited. I think is it like a nutty flavor? Would I be right to assume that?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Don't
I
know.
I just love to eat them.
You can dip it in butter.
Let's
Yeah.
take off of it though.
What's that?
Dip better.
How much do you have to take off of it? Like,
Well,
Oh, a bit.
you can eat the leaves. So you can eat the leaves.
Oh.
You just have to take the tip off of them. And then apparently what you do is you scrape them against your teeth and that brings out the meat inside of the leaf. But inside is the artichoke heart. So the artichoke heart is something that we see in canned, in the canned section of the canned vegetable section of the store. So the artichoke heart is on the inside. I don't know. I'll
And
let you know,
you've got
Donna.
prickly stuff on the inside you've got to take out
Okay.
before
All
you
right.
get to the heart.
Oh, all right. Maybe I should go on YouTube.
You split it open and
actually, I
It's good
don't.
on
Like,
pizza.
nose to the outside.
I'm just gonna say I
Open
don't
it up
like it
and-
on pizza, so I probably wouldn't like it.
I have never heard about it being put on pizza. Artichoke on pizza or artichoke heart?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't. No, I'm thinking of what? something else.
anchovies. You're thinking of anchovies.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Difference, yeah.
Different
Yeah.
thing.
Very, very different. Hey, Murray, do you like anchovies?
No,
No? Oh, I'm surprised. I thought you might. My husband gets
No.
anchovies on his and not my thing either.
uh,
You're
Jeff,
welcome, Karen.
Josh down the road there at Marley's gave me some sorrel, and I don't know what to do with sorrel. I think you would put it in some kind of salad.
It's sharp.
Sorrel. How do you say it?
Sorrel.
SORREL or something like that. Maybe just.
Oh, I don't know. Is it greens?
Yes.
One moment. I'm just going to see if I can look it up quickly here. I don't know what is considered, but I'm going to go and see if I can find it real quickly for you. I won't take up much time here. LMNO. Sorrel. Mountain sorrel. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and we can discover this new thing together. This is a great book. It's so colorful and it's so it looks like it's got lots of information, but it doesn't have necessarily have recipes. And it would tell you if something is poisonous or not. So this is mountain sorrel. I don't know how good this picture is going to be when I show it to you. That is mountain sorrel. Is that what
Yeah.
is that what you're talking about, Murray?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. Interesting. You should
Yeah.
Google it. So mountain sorrel is rich in vitamin A, B, and C, widely used to prevent and cure scurvy. That's a word you don't hear very often.
Oh, I certainly have scurvy.
Yeah, leaves are tender and rather fleshy with a sharp, almost vinegary flavor. And then it says
Yeah.
that you can make a refreshing, thirst-quenching snack on the trail or a tasty addition to salads or sandwiches. You may chop it up and soak it in water and sweeten it with a bit of sugar to make a drink. So that's interesting.
By Caesar.
Yeah, you could probably put it in your Caesar. So it was also used, oh, this is kind of gross, but it was also taken internally or used in poultices, like, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, poultice? And, yeah, and washed to treat diarrhea, sores, ulcers, rashes, itching, ringworm, and even cancer. It's
Grocery
you know,
drive.
magic.
Why do you
Yeah.
give that to me?
Some recommend the leaves ease the itch of mosquito bites.
Mhm.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
So that was local. I'm going to tag that page. I had the page tagged at milkweed, but I'm going to tag that and I'm going to check that out next time I'm out there and maybe pick that too. Living off the land.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome, everyone. You have a wonderful afternoon. I'm going to jump onto my 2 o'clock bands and mat class, and then 3:30 our half-hour energy class. So have a wonderful afternoon. And if I
Busy day
don't,
for you.
thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thanks for joining us today. Talk to you later.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Okay?
Michelle.
Michelle.
You're
Yeah.
very welcome. Bye now.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.